I need you to believe me when I say this. I did not buy the necklace. It was never mine. It chose me. And every time I tried to get rid of it, it came back, closer, colder, and angrier. The first time I saw it was at my aunt's apartment 2 summers ago. It was one of those old Cairo buildings with a staircase that smelled like dust and frying oil, the kind where the hallway light flickers before it fully turns on. My aunt had just passed away, rahimahullah, and the family was sorting through her things. I wasn't supposed to take anything, I just wanted to help clean. But there it was on her dresser, a silver necklace, thin and delicate, with a small dark stone in the center, almost black, but with this deep green glow if you looked at it long enough. I remember my mother saying, "Leave the jewelry, Habibti, we'll distribute it properly later." I nodded, but my eyes kept going back to the necklace. I don't know why, it felt familiar, like something I'd seen in a dream. When no one was looking, I picked it up. It was shockingly cold, as if it had been in a freezer, not a sunlit bedroom. Without thinking, I slipped it into my pocket. That night, I dreamed of my aunt. She was sitting on the floor of that same bedroom, back turned to me, hair covering her face. The room was darker than it should have been. I called her name, but she didn't answer. I saw something glinting in her hand. It was the necklace. She lifted it slowly and whispered a verse, but it was distorted, like Quran played backwards. My ears started ringing, and I felt something crawling under my skin. I woke up gasping, drenched in sweat, with my heart pounding so hard it hurt. I tried to shake it off. Nightmares happen, I told myself. I went to the bathroom to wash my face, and when I looked in the mirror, for a fraction of a second, I saw a shape behind me. Tall, thin, blacker than the dark. I spun around. Nothing, just the half-open door and the dim hallway. The next day, I found the necklace in my bag. I had forgotten I even took it. I almost put it on, almost, but something inside me resisted. I remembered hearing my father quote a hadith. The Prophet ﷺ said, "There is no contagion, no evil omens from birds, and no hammer, but we know there is the evil eye and the reality of Jinn." I thought, it's just the necklace, stop being paranoid. Still, I didn't wear it. I left it on my desk. That night, the second nightmare came. I was lying in my bed exactly as I was in reality. My room looked the same, but the air was heavier. I couldn't move. Sleep paralysis. I'd had it before, but this was different. I heard something dragging across the floor, slow and deliberate, like metal on tile. My eyes shifted toward the sound. There, on the ground, was the necklace, inching toward my bed as if pulled by invisible fingers. The stone in the center was glowing faint green, pulsing like a heartbeat. I tried to recite Ayatul Kursi, but my tongue felt thick, paralyzed. The dragging came closer. I could feel it now, at the side of my bed. Something climbed up, weight denting the mattress. The necklace slid across the sheets by itself, stopping on my chest, right over my heart. I heard a voice in my head, not loud, but piercing. Mine. I woke up screaming. My mother rushed in, asking what happened. I told her it was just a bad dream. I didn't want to scare her. When she left, I turned on every light in the room. My eyes scanned the desk where I had left the necklace. It wasn't there. It was on my pillow. I stared at it for a long time, my hands trembling. Enough, I thought. I grabbed it with a tissue, as if touching it directly would infect me, and marched outside to the garbage containers behind our building. The night was quiet, too quiet, and the street lamp above me flickered. I threw the necklace deep into the trash, buried on the black bags, and stepped back. I whispered, "Bismillah," and walked away, reciting Ayatul Kursi to myself. That night, the nightmare was worse. I was in a dark corridor, the kind with no doors, just endless walls stretching out. I heard my aunt's voice ahead, reciting Quran, but the words twisted midair into something foul, like smoke choking the verse. I started reciting Ayat al-Kursi out loud, correctly this time, and as I did, I saw shapes above me crawling on the ceiling, long-limbed, faceless, with their heads turned backward. They shrieked, but there was no sound, just pressure, like my eardrums were being crushed. Then I saw it, the necklace, lying in the middle of the corridor. Something invisible was wearing it. The stone floated at the height of a throat, but there was no neck, no body, just that green pulse, coming closer. I forced myself to finish the verse, and He is the Most High, the Most Great. The corridor cracked like glass, and I jolted awake. I sat up, panting. My room was dark, except for the weak glow of my phone charger. I reached for the lamp, my hand shaking, and turned it on. On my bedside table, right next to my glass of water, lay the necklace. Not on the desk, not across the room. Closer, closer than before. My throat went dry. Astaghfirullah, I whispered. This was no coincidence. I knew from what I'd studied that jinn can attach themselves to places, objects, even people. Ibn Taymiyyah mentioned that some items can become a cause for jinn attachment, especially if used in sihr. I had read that. I never thought I'd live it. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. At Fajr, I went to my father. I told him everything, the dreams, the voices, the necklace coming back. He listened in silence, his face pale, his fingers moving over his tasbih. When I finished, he said quietly, "We should have known. Your aunt, she wasn't well before she died. There were signs she might have been afflicted." He called an imam we trusted, a man known for ruqya according to Quran and Sunnah. No weird rituals, no shirk. He came that afternoon. When he saw the necklace on the table, his expression tightened. He didn't touch it. Instead, he recited Ayat al-Kursi, the last 2 verses of Surah al-Baqarah and the Mu'awwidat, Surah al-Ikhlas, al-Falaq, and Nas. The air felt thick, like the room was underwater. The Imam's voice shook slightly on the word Al-Khabith when he recited a supplication against evil beings. Then he said, "Bring a metal tray." My mother brought one from the kitchen. He placed the necklace in it with tongs and said, "We will burn it. If there is a jinn tied to it, by Allah's permission, it will be cut." He told us to recite Bismillah together. He lit a small fire in the tray with some paper and placed the necklace into the flames. I expected it to melt or at least heat up. Instead, the stone turned darker, swallowing the light. The silver chain twisted unnaturally, like it was writhing. The Imam's voice grew louder, more intense, reciting Surah al-Falaq. For a second, I heard it, a shrill, distant scream, like metal scraping across glass, coming from nowhere and everywhere. Then the fire went out on its own. The stone cracked, a thin line slicing through the center. The necklace lay there, motionless, blackened. The Imam wiped sweat from his forehead. "Bury what remains far from here," he said, "and increase in dhikr. This may not be over." That night, I slept with my ruqya playlist on quietly, Ayat al-Kursi and the last verses of Baqarah playing on loop. I placed my phone under my pillow, clinging to the sound of the Quran as if it were the only thing keeping me afloat. For the first time in days, I fell asleep quickly. I woke up to silence. The recitation had stopped. My phone was dead. The room was dark, but I could see the faint outline of my furniture. I felt a weight on my chest, heavy and cold. Sleep paralysis again. I knew the signs. the inability to move, the crushing pressure, the buffering in my ears. But this time, the words some else, something breathing right above my face. I smelled it, like damp earth and something rotten. Slowly, my eyes adjusted. Above me, centimeters from my face, was a shape, a void in the dark. No eyes, no mouth, just an absence of everything. But I knew it was looking at me, watching, claiming. On my chest, I felt the chill of metal, the weight of a chain. I concerned my eyes downward and saw it, the necklace, whole, unburned. The stone was no longer green. It was pure black, reflecting nothing, like a hole torn into reality. It pulsed with each beat of my heart. I tried to scream, but no sound came. Inside my head, a voice whispered, layered, male and female at once. You threw me away. You burned me. I came back. The word back stretched, echoing, burrowing into my skull. You are marked, it hissed. You touched what was bound. You inherited what you promised. My mind raced. I remembered what I'd read. Some jinn, especially those tied to seer, form pacts, legacies. They can pass from one generation to another through objects. Even Kathir mentioned that jinn can accompany a person, whisper to them, harm them by Allah's permission. The Prophet ﷺ taught us that reciting Ayat al-Kursi after every prayer protects us, that the one who recites it before sleeping will be guarded by Allah and no shaitan will approach until morning. I clung to that knowledge like a drowning person clings to a rope. Inside my frozen body, I screamed the verse, Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. At first, the words were muffled in my own mind, struggling through mud. The weight on my chest grew heavier, the breathing above me harsher. The necklace dug into my skin, cold biting through my flesh. I forced myself to continue. No slumber can seize him, nor sleep. To him belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is on the earth. The presence above me trembled. The stone's pulse faltered. The buzzing in my ears intensified until it felt like my head would split. I kept going, every word a battle. His kursi extends over the heavens and the earth, and he feels no fatigue in guarding them both. And he is the Most High, the Most Great. The weight vanished. The shape above me exploded into nothing, like smoke devoured by wind. My lungs filled with air in a violent rush, and I sat up, clutching my chest, sobbing. My room was empty. The door was closed. The window was shut. I looked down at my hands. My fingers were clasped around something cold. Slowly, shaking, I opened them. The necklace lay there, but it was no longer whole. The chain was broken in 3 places, and the stone was split completely, crumbling into fine black dust that slipped through my fingers and disappeared into the sheets. For a moment, there was silence, no whispers, no dragging sounds, just my own breathing and the distant call of Fajr from the masjid. I didn't throw the broken pieces away. I wrapped them in paper with Bismillah written on it and gave them to my father. He buried them far from our home. We cleansed the house with Quran, reciting Al-Baqarah over several days. The nightmares stopped. The presence faded. But sometimes, in the silence of the night, I still feel a cold circle pressing against my throat, as if a chain is hovering just above my skin, waiting. I learned something from all of this. The world of the unseen is not a story, not superstition. It is real as the ground under our feet. Allah says in the Quran, "Indeed, He sees you, He and His tribe, from where you do not see them." We walk through a world layered with beings we cannot sense, until one of them decides to be noticed. If you ever feel drawn to something in a way that twists your gut, if nightmares cling to you after you touch an object, do not ignore it. Seek refuge in Allah, recite His book, protect yourself with the morning and evening adhkar, because whatever clings to you from the unseen will not let go easily. But know this, no jinn, no sihr, no cursed object has power on its own. It is all by Allah's permission, and whoever holds on to Him truly, sincerely, will never be abandoned. Indeed, Allah is the best of protectors.